Huge news breaking just a few moments ago from the Florida camp. Hannah Rogers, Michelle, who has been nearly untouchable so far in the postseason, not the starting pitcher tonight. Tim Walton going with Lauren Hager instead.
The couch coaches across Gator Nation were enraged with Tim Walton's decision not to start Hannah Rogers with a chance at the program's first NCAA title in Game 2 of the 2014 Women's College World Series. What was he thinking? Rogers, the senior, and first four-time All-American in program history, had racked up 7 shutouts in 8 NCAA tournament games, including a 5-0 stifling of rival Alabama in the Women's College World Series Game 1. With a championship to be had, Walton opted to start junior Lauren Hager, who gave up an early run, and had the Gators, who outscored their first 10 NCAA opponents 76-6, all with Rogers in the circle, playing from behind for the first time in the tournament. Walton, as it turned out, was playing chess to the checker players on the outside. He had analytics to back his call, numbers that said Rogers hadn't fared so well against offensive teams when starting consecutive games. So Walton waited. By the end of the 5th inning, Florida had a 5-run lead when Rogers jogged in from the bullpen.
Spencer back to Rogers to first, and the Florida Gators win their first national championship.
She got the save, got smothered in the championship celebration dogpile, and was named the Women's College World Series Most Outstanding Player to cap one of the most dominating postseason runs by any Gator athlete, male or female. Rogers, from Lake Wales, Florida, finished her career with a record of 127-31 and an earned run average of 1.63 to go with 833 strikeouts to 293 walks, while literally saving her best for last, as in the 2014 NCAA tournament when Rogers went 7-0 with a .64 ERA, including a 4-0 march through 5 games in Oklahoma City when she posted a 1 ERA against the best the nation had to offer. She'll now go down as a Gator Great as she is inducted into the UF Athletic Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hannah Rogers. Cool watching the video?
Oh, yeah.
Looking back. Did you get hurt in the dog pile? Like you were good?
Yeah, I think I ripped somebody's, face. I almost ripped someone's face off. I'm very claustrophobic, so, that was my first time doing that. So, Aubrey was on top of me, and it was everyone else on top of us. I don't remember whose face I grabbed, but I remember my hand being in someone's mouth.
Get out. Great stuff. All right, so we have our first Florida native here tonight so far. So he didn't have to go too far to find you, and all the different things that were happening. Franny's just leaving the World Series success just over and over. What was that decision like? How easy was it to want to come here?
Oh my gosh! So, funny story. I was actually a Seminole. And then I always wanted to be a Gator, obviously. This is where I wanted to go. In travel ball, you send out recruiting emails, and I always sent my recruiting email to Coach Walton. And, they're busy. You don't always hear back from them. Or he just didn't want me at the time. Yeah. So I actually ended up committing to Florida State. And then I think a few players got injured here, and then I think there was a transfer, and I don't remember how it happened, but I reached out or whatever, and I got to come on a visit, and I knew, obviously I told the Florida State coaches, I was coming, and I had to go, whether I picked here or there, it was always my dream school, so I had to go. And obviously you come in here and you fall in love. And I had some teammates that played here as well. So just having that too, it was more like home for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that first year, pretty darn good. 36 wins as a freshman. That was 3rd in the country that year, which is just crazy for a freshman. So what was the mindset like to just grab the ball and go out there?
It was hard. It wasn't easy. But luckily, my freshman year, there was a lot of All-Americans on our team. So, and there was a lot of seniors, we had Kelsey Bruder, Megan Bush, Asia, TD. There was a lot of girls to look up to that helped me along the way too. So I think having them there to support me and Coach Walton and Coach Rocha, just having coaches like that and the support system that's here, I think helped a lot too. I remember Coach Walton liked to scrimmage a lot. So I feel like we scrimmaged every practice. That's what it felt like, to me anyways, especially when you're facing a lineup full of All-Americans every practice. And I remember I had a line drive, Kelsey Bruder, I remember. Literally, if I didn't put my glove up, I probably wouldn't be sitting here tonight. And I remember, I think after that practice, I just started bawling. And Kelsey was like, look, she's like, you're not going to play other teams with hitters this good.
Yeah.
She's like, you're facing the best hitters right now. She's like, trust me, you're going to be okay.
How did softball get started? Were you peppering kids and dodgeball on the playground, figured out the right arm was pretty good, or what was the way it got going?
I mean, I was always decent. I don't think I was the best there was out there. But I'm a very monotone person, so I think that a lot of I didn't let a lot of things get to me, so I just kind of went with it, I was actually I don't think I threw that hard growing up, but I could hit my spots, so I think that helped a lot too. And then I had my dad pulling me out there to practice every day, even when I didn't want to. He's like, "Okay, you just won't be good today. You just won't be good." And when they say that, you're like, "No, I want to be good." So you go out there and you practice.
Yeah, it's that motivation.
Oh yeah,
that's the way it works.
Yep.
Were you motivated as we go back to that video when you didn't get the start and you're sitting there cursing and saying, "Hey, I should be out there"? What was that like? And then obviously it was the right decision. You go in there, you get a save. You didn't have to do many of those, and it won it all.
Actually, Coach Walton actually asked me. I don't remember. We might have been at breakfast or something. And he was like, "Hey," he's like, "I'm thinking about starting Lauren Hager." And I was like, obviously, he's always right. So you're going to be like, "Yeah, do that." So, yeah, he had that conversation with me. And I think actually the last time, it might have been Alabama, but I think the last time he threw me back-to-back against him, it wasn't pretty.
Yeah.
So I trusted it.
Yeah, and it was right.
Yeah.
So I think I only had one shutout in my entire career. You had 12 in 1 year, which is just crazy to think about. So those were no big deal. What about no hitters? Do you remember your first one? How many you had?
I don't even think I had one.
No.
Did I ever have one?
Maybe a combined perfect game or something. There was a few of those over the years.
Was there?
Yeah. So they're probably in there.
I don't know. I didn't
no big deal. Throwing no hitters, and it's not even a big deal.
Yeah, I didn't even know the 12 shutout either until, yeah.
So it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So Kelsey, Lauren, Aubrey, so many more. You get to be around, all these great players. Obviously, so many here tonight as well. How did you guys help each other in trying to be successful? I know you mentioned the inter squads and just the competition, but on and off the field, that you guys were such a close group.
Oh, yeah. Like you said, we did a lot together on and off the field. But I think everyone was a leader in their own way. So I think that helped a lot too. I mean, you obviously have a lot of different personalities, I was more of a, probably lead by example. I didn't really tell you what to do. Other girls were maybe more passionate, and then you had the other girls that they wanted to go out. They wanted to not go out and be dirty, but they just were grinders. So I think just a mixture. And I honestly, even our freshmen that year, I felt like a lot of our freshmen that year were leaders, which is hard to do, as a freshman. Just that it was a really special group. I think a lot of the girls on that team, everyone played a huge role. Everyone had a part. Yeah,
they did. All right, Preston Tucker's over there. We'll get him up in a minute. I'm always fascinated. Do you think that, because you guys were in school together, I don't know if this ever happened, but you think if he stepped in the box, how many pitches would it take to strike him out?
Three. For sure.
What's
I don't know, though.
What would the sequence be? Like, how would you get them out?
I didn't have a really good change up until my senior year, so probably a rise ball.
Dominate.
Yeah, because I don't know if they really do they have rise balls in baseball?
No rise balls.
Maybe a rise
Ball was always coming down, so it's probably
drop ball, but they have drop balls. But I had a pretty good drop ball.
Tim, you agree with that? She get them?
Rise.
Get up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or curve.
We'll see what Preston thinks in
I'm with you.
just a few minutes. What did this place mean to you? Of course, you get to celebrate, be the first to ever get a national title here, and so many great memories and fans. The fan base that we heard Francesca talk about. It's a pretty special place, isn't it?
Oh yeah. This place is very special. I mean, anytime I come back here, it just feels like home. You always feel welcomed. When you come back, it's like it's a whole new team. I think they might have been through 9 classes now since I've been gone, or 8. But just Coach Walton does a really good job, of making sure that we interact with the new players. And even whenever, I feel like I didn't even play with any of these girls, but I feel like, I did play with them because they were always coming back and they were always at our practices. So I think a word to describe it would be home. It was like home.
Yeah, great. Well, who came from their homes to come be with you tonight?
I have my husband, and I have my Ella, my 2-year-old daughter, and my mom, my dad, my sister, my grandpa, Kirsty and Aubrey, who played with me, and then I also have my high school coach, Nancy Denton, and then obviously Coach Walton and Tony, who I haven't even gotten to see. I didn't even know you were here. So, and then Brittany, and I don't know if Coach Paul is here. Is Coach Paul here somewhere? No? Okay.
Well, it's a great group, and now all of you have to call her a UF Hall of Famer. Congratulations, Sam.
Thanks, Udo. Thank you so much.
Court.